Hello, welcome to this tutorial. Morris Dimba, and today we are still on the footbridge supported on a curved frame, and we'll get started right away. And today we are going straight, and we'll be working only on the pedestrians walkway only today. Let me just bring it close so that we see actually what we are doing clearly. Now I'll pick these beams. Let me just arrange myself here and select all those beams. Press Ctrl and select all these. Select all these. I'll just select all these individually because I want to copy them up at a distance of 1.5. Let me just select this. Let me select everything here. Select this. You just need to be keen in picking whatever you want to copy to a different location, so that and take into account that you don't pick any unwanted steel member. And just continue picking these steel. Select that and select on that and select that. I'll select that one. Let me select all these prior to taking them up at a distance of 1.5. Just select all this. It might take a little bit of time, but you'll be happy with what you'll see us doing, or I'm doing. Let me just bring it close, press Ctrl, select on that. Now I'll zoom out because I've selected everything. And what I'm going to do now, I want to offset it up, or copy this up by 1.5. I'll right click and come to special copy here and pick linear, and I want to take it up along the Z axis here by 1.5. I'll change this to 0. I'll change this to 1. I'll change this to 1.5, and I'll click OK. We've copied this up here, and this is how it looks. You can see that we need a copy or a similar frame on top of this. So what you're going to do, it's simple. I'm going to mark a point along these beams. I'll click any point and pick at any location, and I'll snap right here. I'll snap right there, and snap right here, snap right there. I'll select these points and select that point, right click and come to special copy. I'll copy at a distance of 600 along the y-axis. I'll type 600 and click OK right there. So I'll select on these points, press Ctrl and select on that point, and I want to copy it from this point to away from this point at a distance of 2 meters. I'll right click and come to y-axis here and just feed 2 meters and click OK. That's okay. Now I want to get the midpoint of these 2 points because I want to brace. We are looking for support for this top frame that will be holding this a slight thickness, a small thickness of concrete that will be laid on top of this frame. Now I'll come to points here, and edit and come to points. Then I want to locate a midpoint between these 2 points, and I'll transfer this midpoint upward by selecting on it and copy it right on that spot. Right click and interrupt and terminate that command. Now I'll come to steel here, right here, and select on that. I'll snap on that spot and snap on that spot, and I want to bring it close so that I see exactly what I'm doing. Is it correct? This is correct. And let me check this steel member. This steel member is 100 by 100 by 8 millimeter thick. That's okay. And then I'll check the position of this member. It's positioned in the middle. It's running right at the center of this member. So that's how I want it to be arranged. I'll come to steel here, I'll pick on the beam and I'll snap on that spot and zoom out and target a point where we located right there at a distance of 2 meters. Now I'll come to new and try to check whether this is correct. This is correct, and what I'm going to do once again, I want to just copy this, select on this and press Control, select on that and come to copy, and I want to copy the same thing at the end prior to invoking a copy command that will populate it along the full length of this bridge. So we have another one there, we have another one here. So at this end, what I'm going to do, I want just to turn this back of these members. I'll just come to rotation here and I'll pick below. I'll use back and turn that round. I'll pick that also and pick the back end. So that's okay. Now I'll come to the bottom end here, at the bottom end here of this beam here. I want to mark a point because we want to place a brace on the bottom end here. So we must mark the points we intend to start placing our bracings. So a point have been placed on top of that, or at the bottom end of that member. So what I'm going to do, I want to mark another point here. Right click and come to point right there and pick online points. I'll pick at any point and I'll snap on that spot right there and select on that point. Right click and come to special copy. I'll pick linear. Then I'll check the axis in which I intend to copy this point. I want to give it an offset of 200 along the x-axis. So I'll just fit 200 here and click OK right there. So I want to copy the same at the end. So what I'm going to do, I select this point, right click and come to copy and hold it from this spot and copy it at this spot, on the spot, on that spot. So we have these points in at that locations, on those locations, this one and this one. So I'll come to steel here and pick a point. I'll pick a point at the bottom end here and we'll place a member right there and place a member right here. So we've picked a wrong member, we've picked a wrong position. So we'll come to navigate. So that's why it's key to make sure prior to start placing members, you must be really keen on where to start placement of these steel members. I'll come to steel once again. I'll pick beam. I'll snap on that spot and snap right here. And I'll go on that midpoint once again and I'll snap right there. And what I'm going to do, I want to rearrange these members to position themselves appropriately. So what I'm going to do, just double click on this, then pick below and change that so that it should be back to back, like you can see that. So what I'm going to do here, it's simple. I'll select all this. I'll select on all this, press Control and select on that, right click and come to navigate. I'll turn that round and press Control and select on that. I'll right click and come to special copy here and click copy. So which axis do we intend to populate this along? We'll copy this along the x-axis, along the y-axis here. So this will be copied at a distance of 2 meters. So we need 104 of this. So I'll just zoom out and invoke the copy command here. We'll go ahead and click copy, and there is a request of expand the view. We'll just ignore that. It's way out of our reach. So what we are going to do is just to undo that and come here and change this to 46 and click OK. So exactly it will be ended right there. I'll come to that and you can see the braces are exactly in the best position where we intend them to be on. Now I'll come to navigate. I'll come at the bottom end here and I want to copy these members. Don't worry about the connection of these members. That will be done later on once we've arranged all the steel in the right positions. Now I'll press Control, come to press Control and select the other member, right click and come to copy. So I want to copy this member from this position right here and go all the way and place another one right here. I'll snap right there. We have another one in place and come and place another one right here and populate this. A reason why I'm doing it manually, because some distances are not equal, so it's not good to use a uniform distribution, because the center to center distances on other beams are not the same. So I prefer doing it manually so that we do it accurately. Now I'll go to that member and place another one there. I'll go to this member and place another one right there. I'll come here also, I'll place another one. No matter how long it takes, what matters is how accurate were you when doing this. Because when it comes to generating the drawings, it's always a time wasting going back to model to modify the moment you find that your drawing is not coming out correctly. So when you come to model, it's a total wastage of time. So you should mask the one right here and another one right here, another one right here. Perfect. And we are closer. We are closer to the end, and here we are at the end of this, and that one is there. So I'll close this and come to navigate, and if I rotate this, you can be able to see our braces are perfectly arranged to the best positions so far. I'll right click and interrupt to terminate that command. I'll come to navigate and rotate this, and you can see how our braces have been arranged. So I'll come this end, I'll come to this far end, and what I'm going to do is to place a sheet on top of this. I'll come to panel here. I'll just type panel. Just type panel. Scroll down, and we need a panel here that will be holding our shear studs. Just type we have it here, panel database. Just double click on it, and what we are going to do is just to pick the first position right there, and this will be our next position, and our next position will be here. And just give it some time to process that information, and here we are. I'll close this. Now I'll come to navigate, rotate this, select on it, right click and come to move. I'll zoom closer and pick it at the bottom end here and bring it somewhere there. Select on it once again, and I'll pick at the bottom end and place it right there. So I'll come to navigate once again and turn that round, and what I'm going to do is to lay the studs, place the studs on this sheet. Now I'll come to interrupt, I'll come to bolts here, I'll come to steel here, I'll come to bolts. Where are the bolts? I'll pick on the bolt and select this member, select on it once again, then press my milled button on the mouse, and I'll select on this, at the center of that, and move all the way to the center of this, and I'll snap right here. Right click and interrupt to terminate that command. So we have these studs arranged. So once again, what I'm going to do is very simple. I'll come here and double click, or if you don't double click, just come and rotate this, pick a rotation point, and we want to position this to the bottom end here. Let me just select on this and do that. Select on this, press Control, then I'll snap at the bottom end there, and I want to place them right there. I'll get rid of this, come to Navigator and rotate this. We can change the size of these studs by double clicking on it, and you can either use Nelson or the Nelson the common one, and we can just retain it, and maybe the size you can reduce to 12.7. Then undo that, select on this and pick copy. So I'll pick it from that center and move it all the way to this center here, place another one there, and what I'm going to do, I need another one on this groove. So what I'm going to do, just select on copy. Copied everything here, just select this member and select all these studs. Then right click and come to spatial copy here and click linear. Then I want to populate this along the full length of the bridge, taking into account the length of these, the width of this corrugated sheet. Then just get the width here, which should be 900. So what I'm going to do, once I've selected everything, I'll feed 900 right here, 900 right here, and I'll go ahead and just feed here 104, and I'll click OK. I'll click OK and zoom out and check whether what I've done is correct, and absolutely it's correct. And I'll click on empty screen, and if I come to view here, I'll come to navigate, and if I rotate this, I'll be able to have my studs already on top of this sheet. Now our concrete will be laid on top of this studs, so that we provide a walkway for pedestrians. So you can take a look at that you can see that in place, and this is how it looks. This is how it looks. Perfect. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm Maurice Dimba, and let's meet then on the next tutorial.